original owner. And so that was a trust that owned that particular property at the time. They entered into a 25-year lease. And at that time, 25 years ago, Lumen Technologies or their predecessors paid $68,250. And so there's some pretty significant potential for a new lease with significant revenue to the city, should we be successful in renewing that.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Cliff? I have a couple. So, on Gateway Pacific or Sun West Mill property, have we done any upgrades to the properties?
Yes.
I'm aware that upgrades have been done to the Sun West Mill facility. I don't know what the specifics of those upgrades were. I think they were electrical, and perhaps Councilmember Bassett can inform us, or our Public Works Superintendent can.
I think Paul would be the guy to talk to. I know we upgraded the whole property, but Paul probably knows the specifics on it.
So did the city do the work, or did, I'm sorry.
So,
Nacho came out and, okay, well, first of all, we put 2 new poles out there with Victory Electric, put the poles out, and then to get service line to the Sun West Mill, I believe it's 480?
440.
440, so they could have, huh?
443
Three phase.
industrial. And just a preface on that, the reason that was all upgraded was the vandals that came out, they had stole everything out of there. They had stripped that whole industrial park and basically we had a one line of 110 for that big shop building for Sunwest to use and for Gateway to use, and so that's why Nacho came out and put it all back up to code. And so the whole industrial park now has coded electrical, all 3 phase, 440 on both buildings.
and it's not up to code because we didn't get a permit, but anyway, I guess my point is that there's been upgrades to these, with the electric, and so I don't know if that plays into the cost, but I do think that we do need to obviously release the expired and we need to renew them, so.
Well, I'll get to work.
I have a
and-
comment.
Let's clarify that just because you didn't have a permit doesn't mean it was done in code though. It just means it's
Okay,
inspected.
if it didn't get a permit, then that's not code, because it didn't get a permit, it wasn't signed off. Anyway, so, go ahead.
What I want to make sure is that, that what we're leasing is safe to those that are renting from us, that we've had a lot of rain lately. I want to make sure that there's no flooding out there, that, for liability reasons. So I just want to make sure that we are protecting all of the people that are working out there, that are leasing, and as well as the city of Biggs.
Good comment.
And we actually make a profit.
So, Paul, to her question,
Yeah, everything's good out there. We checked out as well as the rest of the town, especially for local flooding. And so, it's good.
okay. Any other questions from the council? Any public comment?
I think the big one we want to hear is big, is we talk about raising rates all the time, how we need money. It ain't worth it unless we're making a profit, right? If it costs more to maintain it, we don't want to lease it as residents of Biggs. So if it makes a profit, cool. If it doesn't, if we gotta upgrade it every 2 years for a 25-year lease of $67,000, that could probably be double that amount. I think what we want to hear is it gonna make a profit, or are we gonna put more money into it than our city gets back? That's the question I was waiting for a city council member to ask.
What do I need? complicated question because there were certain monies put into the industrial park. That's one thing. Leasing this is kind of a separate thing, and at least
They're not.
as I understand it. But, you know, we put no money into the fiber optics lease. That building is, as it has been built. Cliff, anything you want to elaborate on that?
Well, I would just say that, you know, I'm prepared to work with Attorney Einhorn and the council to make sure that we're doing our absolute best to secure agreements that are, you know, that are competitive, consistent with current market valuations, and, you know, we have the facilities there. We own them, and it makes sense to me to proceed with the renewals. I just wanted to get the nod.
Sure, go ahead.
So are we making a profit?
Yes.
Yes.
And if the Lumen Technologies piece comes back, you know, 25 years ago, that was $68,250. There has to be an analysis conducted as to the realistic market value. If they come back asking for another 25 years, you know, that's a long-term commitment. And we'll have to evaluate, you know, is that the highest, best use for that property? Are there other potential uses in the form of leases or otherwise? And it'll be up to the council to make the decision if that makes sense.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Public comment?
Who comes up with the lease, like, prices? Is that you, or is that?
That's gonna be, you know, a result of an analysis that my office will conduct. With respect to Lumen Technologies, you're talking about a very large player.
Oh, no, I just mean in general, not just them, but like in general, like for the SunWest, like, are you gonna look at it and say, okay, $600 for one building, or is it $600 for both?
I am ordinarily inclined to request a subcommittee. We have members of the council who are dedicated and designated by the council to do public works work with staff. And so it'll probably be a collaborative process. I'll do most of the analysis, and we will then engage our prospective renters. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, you-
Okay.
Any other public comment, questions? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we, go ahead and give Cliff the approval to move forward on updating the leases.
Okay. I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Department reports, police and fire, how about let's get the police out of the way and fire next. No? I saw it, Chip. Chip? Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. This is a report for January. Your fire department ran 32 calls in January. 20 of those were in the city and 12 in the county. No significant or major incidents. They gave a report at the last meeting that we had a lot of equipment, engines, dozers, crews, and so on in Southern California. All of those, most of those personnel are back. All of our equipment is back. We do have some overhead people still down there in some key positions. Just update on the station personnel, some of the things that they've been doing. They assisted with fit testing. All of our Butte County volunteers are fit testing is where they have to be we need to take the different size of masks that we wear into a structure fire and make sure that they don't have any leaks, that they have a good seal around their face, and so, Station 73 assisted doing that for all of our volunteers, and then they also outfitted 34 new recruits for our volunteer academy, and that's for the countywide volunteer program that we have. You were talking about flooding, Councilmember, I just want to let you know that the county fire department did staff up the water rescue team in addition to the normal station staffing for last week. They were staffed up for 6 or 7 days and responded to about a dozen rescues. They rescued 23 persons and 9 dogs. And those rescues occurred in both Butte County and in Tehama County. We went up to the Las Vegas area for that rescue. Part of the reason that we staffed up was not only because of the rain, but because of the releases from Lake Orville as well. So as of today, there's still about 25,000 CFS going through the river. And 15,000 of that is going through that local channel, which is what most of us think of as the Federal River in Orville, down there along the levee system. So, but there's a total of 25,000 in the river right now, and the lake level, they're keeping it at about 860 feet. That's been pretty consistent all day. So there's about 40 feet of reserve in the lake, and just in case you guys were wondering about that. And the last thing, the engine company is here tonight, so we have Captain Downey and Firefighter Knighton. They decided to come down and show their faces, and feel free to stop by the station anytime you want, or if you see these guys in town, you know who they are now, so. And report unless you have any questions.
Any questions for Chip?
I do. I was wondering if you had an opportunity